Hey everyone! So you're just starting to learn English? Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to break down 6 amazing, simple tips from expert teacher Emma that will help you learn fast and really build up your confidence. We're going to forget the confusing textbooks and all those overwhelming rules for a bit. This is your clear, simple guide to getting started. Let's jump right in.
So, if you're a beginner, this question probably hits home, right? You look at this huge world of English grammar, thousands of words, tricky pronunciation, and it can feel like a real challenge. Trust me, it's a completely normal feeling. But the good news is, there's a much smarter way to do this.
And that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're giving you a clear roadmap with 6 super straightforward, easy-to-manage tips from Emma. These will help you start your journey off on the right foot, cutting through all the noise and focusing only on what really, truly matters when you're just beginning.
Okay, first up, we're building your core toolkit. You know, it's like building a house. You need a solid foundation before you can even think about painting the walls. And in language, that foundation is built with the most essential words and the most basic grammar. So let's look at the very first tool for your kit.
Tip number 1 is a total game changer. Focus on the most common words first. It's kind of like the 80-20 rule for language. A really small number of words do most of the heavy lifting. So instead of trying to learn every single word you see, you just prioritize the ones you'll hear and use every single day. Think of it as the ultimate shortcut to understanding and speaking way faster.
So where do you start? Well, Emma points out that there are about 50 verbs, action words, that are just incredibly common. These are the workhorses of the English language. I mean, they show up everywhere. If you can just get a handle on these 50 verbs, you will be absolutely amazed at how much you can suddenly understand and say.
And even within those 50 verbs, Emma points out 3 that are especially powerful for beginners: have, like, and want. I mean, just think about it for a second. With I have a question, I like this coffee, and I want to go home, you can immediately talk about your needs, your opinions, and what you have. They are absolute must-knows to start communicating right away.
Okay, our second tip is a huge relief for pretty much every new learner. Please stop worrying about perfect grammar. That pressure to be perfect, it can actually paralyze you and stop you from speaking at all, which is the exact opposite of what we want. The most important thing you can do for your progress is just give yourself permission to make mistakes.
This quote really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? The whole point of learning a language is to communicate your ideas and connect with other people. Like Emma says, even if you make small grammar mistakes, people can almost always understand what you mean. The real goal is connection, not perfection. So go ahead and embrace those mistakes. They're just proof that you're trying.
Now, while we're not aiming for perfection, you do need some grammar, of course. The English language has something like 12 different verb tenses, which, let's be honest, sounds terrifying. But tip number 3 cuts right through all that complexity. To get started, you only need to focus on the 3 main ones. This is how you build a solid, functional foundation without getting totally lost.
This slide shows you exactly what to focus on. All you need to do at first is talk about what happened before, what's happening now, or what you do regularly, and what's going to happen later. That's it. The simple past for yesterday, the simple present for your daily life, and the simple future for tomorrow. Just mastering these 3 unlocks a huge range of conversations.
So, you've got your basic words and grammar toolkit. Awesome. But how do you take them from a textbook into the real world? Well, this next section is all about making it real, connecting English to your actual life through smart listening and making it personal.
Listening can be one of the toughest skills to build up, so tip number 4 is all about being strategic. The goal isn't to listen for hours and hours, it's to listen effectively. And the key to doing that is practicing in short, manageable, and really focused bursts.
This comparison says it all, right? Trying to watch a 2-hour movie when you're just starting out, it's a recipe for frustration. You'll just get lost in the speed and all the new words. Instead, listening to a 10-second sound clip or a 30-second conversation or a 1-minute piece of news is so much more powerful. You can listen to it again and again, picking up new things each time, and you build your confidence without getting burned out. This next tip is so important for staying motivated because it makes learning actually mean something. Don't just learn random vocabulary lists from a book. Tip 5 is to learn the English that is directly relevant to your world, your job, and your interests. In other words, make it personal. Just think about it. What are you actually going to talk about today? Your family, your job, what you do every morning? Learn the words for those things. If you're a chef, learn words like chop and fry. If you're a student, learn exam and library.
Even simple weather talk, like "it's hot," is super useful for small talk. When vocabulary is meaningful to you, it actually sticks in your brain.
Okay, we've covered the what to learn and the how to make it relevant. Now we're moving on to our final and maybe the most important section. This covers the single biggest factor for your success, building a consistent daily habit.
And here it is, the final and most powerful tip. You have to practice every single day. Consistency is what separates learners who make slow progress from those who learn fast. It doesn't have to be for hours and hours, but that commitment to just touch the language every day is what builds momentum and makes it all stick.
But what does practice actually look like? Well, it's a simple, powerful three-step loop. First, you learn something new, a few words or a grammar point. Second, you review it often. You have to see a word many times for it to move into your long-term memory. And third, you test yourself. Actively trying to remember the word is that final step that really cements it in your mind.
And here is the absolute best part of this final tip. You don't need to quit your job or clear your whole schedule. We are talking about just 10 focused minutes. 10 minutes of practice every single day. That's it. That's a goal almost anyone can hit, and it adds up to a huge difference over weeks and months.
This quote from Emma just captures the spirit of this whole approach perfectly. It's not about one heroic 8-hour study session. It's the small, consistent, focused, daily actions that build real fluency and confidence over time. And if you're wondering where you can put these tips into practice, Emma recommends a great free resource. The website engvid.com has hundreds of short video lessons on grammar, listening, pronunciation, all sorts of stuff to support your daily learning habit.
And that brings us to the end of our 6 tips. You know, the most important thing you can do now is just start. Start today. Don't wait for the perfect moment. So let's make this real, right now. What's the one word, maybe it's a verb from that core list, or a word that describes your own life that you are going to practice today? Let that be your very first step.